Hi there, I think it's day 28 and I think you'll see me better in the light when I sit back a bit. So let's get going. It's day 28. Yeah, I think I said that. Dora Gina. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Alright, sit up nice and tall on your sit bones. Yeah, the light's not great today, but look, we're going to do it anyway because I want to. I think we've got enough light. Maybe if I put this up here. Just one sec. Is that any better? Hi Angela, how are you? Hi Ornella. I just tried to readjust the light because it's night time. It's not that bright in here. Alright, let's sit up nice and tall. Sit on your sit bones. I've got a jumper on today, it's cold. Okay, sit up nice and tall and we'll just go over the Alexander technique because I always do that. Allow the neck to be free. Allow the weight to go forward and up. Oh, people are coming on at this time. Hi Suzanne. Allow the back to lengthen. Sorry about the light. Allow the back to widen. I just turn it down a little bit. Allow the shoulders to fall apart. Allow the hips to release. Now you're right up on those sit bones, aren't you? Belly button to spine. Now, this is different from some other methods, but this is the way we're doing it. Now, I would like you to feel your scapulae drawing down. Feel the scapulae drawing down as you're lengthening from the tip of your coccyx right through the top of your head. Oh, I look like I'm almost bald, don't I, in this light? Well, I'm not. Okay, yesterday we worked on some ballet type, classical ballet type movements. We might do a bit of that again today, I'm not sure. But I'd like to do a little bit of contemporary today. I'm not quite sure what we'll do yet, but I'm sure we'll do contractions. So let's just start off with a little bit of stretching those feet out to get them warmed up. Now when we do the pointing, I want you to go through the foot. So we're going to point the foot, flex. As we flex, we're going to, can you see my foot? So we're pointing, toe, and then flex, and as you point, go through the foot and then point and back. Slide it out, whole foot, ball of the foot, point like I showed you yesterday, then toe up, toes up rather, flex, so you leave the leg where it was, then to point, we're going to keep the toes up and then point the toes last. So we're just going right through the feet, working the feet. Because as I said yesterday, when we do a tendu, which is a stretch, we're going to go whole foot, ball of the foot, point. Then to come back, and you're lifting as you come back, ball of the foot, whole foot in. Now in a standing position, that's what you'd be doing. So you're really working the feet and feeling the floor, working with the floor. So let's just do that again, and we'll just point and flex the feet to warm up our legs. Got a big day today. Got quiet tonight as well. Whole foot, ball of foot, point. And flex and point. Maybe put your arms in Debbie second. Flex, point. Flex, point. Flex. The heel's off the ground because you're not moving the leg down, are you? Flex, turn out, parallel, point, close. Slide through the foot, point. Flex, point. Lift up, flex. Scapulae drawing down, point. Flex, point. Don't know how many I did. Flex, point, flex, turn out, parallel, point, close. Again. Flex, point. Keep it parallel. Not like me, I just turned it out. Flex, Use the foot. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Turn out. I think I did one too many. Flex. Point. I did do one too many. Flex. Point. Lift up. Should be working, should be getting warm. I did the same on that side. In. Use the feet. Use the feet, and that'll be enough of that. All right, next we're going to do, and we're not going to, because I'm starting so late, I'm not going to run over today. Ornella usually keeps the time for me. I am not going to run over, so we'll just do 30 minutes. All right, now we're going to think about our contemporary dance moves. And I'm just going to pause that because, oh, it's finished. I'll come a bit closer. So we're going to start off with contractions. And we've done these before, but we're going to add an element to it. So let's just start off with the ordinary contractions to begin with. Now when you do a contraction, it's as though you're being lifted into the contraction. You're not just slumping down. So if you were a piece of string that was taut and somebody got that piece of string and pulled it back, that's how your body's going. So your head and your coccyx should be still in that same alignment. You might come back slightly, but that's the aim. All right, so what we're going to do is lift into that contraction. So you're not collapsing, you're rolling off your sit bones. So there's a bit of a pelvic roll. You lift into it. Now, we'll use some arms as well. We're going to contract. So it's like someone's hit you in the stomach. And there's a real emotion that goes with the contraction. So if you think about the emotional connection of the contraction and what that means, I mean, it could mean several different things. And I'm not going to tell you what it means to you, but it could mean, oh, something's really taken you by, like they've got your guts. Or it could be pain. Or it could be love. It could be a number of different things. But it's a very emotional movement, and you'll see contractions done a lot in contemporary dance, and it really adds to the texture of what you're seeing. So you won't see it in the same way in classical. You might see an emotional sort of movement, but it's not really the same as the contemporary contraction. Not actually the same. So let's just take our arms out to the side. Now we're going to just roll off the hips first, just to feel it. Keep lifted and come up. And we're not going to come into an arch. We're not doing cat backs. We're just doing contraction and then up. And then contraction and then up. And see how I don't collapse my shoulders? I'm just contracting and up. Actually, just put your hands there. Contract. Keep it nice and long as you can there. And up. It's a little bit harder for me now. I've got a bit of flesh there. I'm not in my youth anymore, so that's okay. All right, now let's take the heels of our hands and then lift out of the contraction. We're going into classical arms here. Remember how I said with the forearm there's the external rotation and the liftedness of the upper arm so that you feel like there's an oppositional movement. So forearm's going this way, and then there's an opposition to that movement in the upper arms, which is almost like an internal rotation, but you need to keep open across the shoulders. So heels of the hand, and open. Keep lifted, and open. We'll just do that. Then I'm going to add to it. Can you feel that in your back already? You should. You're really working your back. And what's happening now is you're working your vertebrae. The joints are being oiled. The lymphatic fluid is moving. You're getting rid of the toxins. All these good things are happening. And, you know, You know about all the nerves that come off at each vertebral level, and they innervate at each level. They innervate an organ and muscles. So you've got this relationship that's happening at every single level. So that's why it's so important to exercise the spine, to move it in various ways. Yes, Angela? I'm sure I know you know all about this and you're an expert at it, so it's lovely having you here. As well as my beautiful other people, Ornella and Suzanne. Okay, let's go to, like the way I said my people, oh dear, us. Let's just have a look at this bit of music. Hopefully it'll work for me. Maybe I'll try this one. I'm having a bit of, oh, I know why. Might help if I put the sound on. Tech genius. That's what I'll be known as, a tech genius. All right, sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones. Draw the scapulae down, squeeze underneath the bottoms. Contract. The music's a bit soft. And it's raining outside. But my Yui boom is being, I don't know what it's doing, so just a couple more and we're going to do something else. Okay, now let's just try doing this. Okay, it's the same movement. Actually, let's take our feet right like this. Okay, come up right onto your sit bones. This is good for the hips too, isn't it? Now, watch this. Contract. All right, let's just go over that. So you've got the balls of your feet on the ground. Now, Suzanne, I don't know your background. I hope this level's okay for you. I'm not sure. But just do what you can. It might be easy peasy for you, it might not. Just do what you can, and if you need to modify it, just do that. Alright, so what we're doing, for the ones that can, put our toes on the balls of our feet on the ground. We're lifting up on our sit bones. We're squeezing underneath the bottoms in the external rotation, just to activate the hip stabilizers. That's what we're doing. Alright, so now we're going to contract, and then we're going to move. So without contracting, just move the hips, come back, swivel the hips, keep the shoulders facing the front, swivel the hips, come back. Now, so we add in the whole upper body. So do it without the upper body. I'm not really in time to the music, but that doesn't matter, because I can barely hear it. But I'm not going to fiddle with it. Okay, got that? Just relax your legs for a second. I think we'll keep them open. Actually, no, we'll keep them here. So now we're going to do that movement and lift the arms up. So see what I've done? I've actually used what we use in the spiral movement with the hips, but we're using it for a different purpose. And come down. And we also used a little bit of our allongé, which is the breath in the forearms. It's not just the forearms. Okay, so it's a little bit of both contemporary, isn't it? And classical. We can do both kinds if we want. Okay. Getting the idea? Now let us add the contraction with that spiral movement. All right? So let me see if I can play some music. I could try putting on the UE boom again, but it's just, I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's just, could it be Bluetooth? Could it be the rain? Maybe it's the rain. Oh, this is louder. Let's just do this one. It's a bit weird, but weird for the movement we're doing, but doesn't matter. Okay, we might do a couple of contractions to start. Careful not to arch when you come up. Squeeze underneath the bottom. Feel it work your back. Okay. Keep working it. Oh, you should feel this working. Again. Again. Oh, I'm getting tired. Okay. Woo! What am I doing? Don't do that. Okay. Did you feel that in your upper backs? I don't know whether I'm feeling it more than other people because of knowing that I needed to strengthen that area of my back. I'm not sure. Let me know if you want to in the comments later. I mean, that's fine if it's later. It doesn't have to be now. But it's just interesting to me what you feel. This is a whole back movement. So people will feel it differently depending on their particular physical circumstances, of course. All right. I think now what we might do is, keeping on that theme, we're going to do some spirals because it's a lovely sort of segue from what we've just done. And spirals, that spiraling movement is a contemporary move as well. Of course, a spiraling movement will be used in dance and in you know, sports movements, you know, like throwing sort of, I'm not an athlete, but like javelin and things, you know, like where you have to throw, you need to be able to use that rotation. But we're not doing that movement, we're actually doing contemporary spirals. So we might do our chair-based fourth position that I made up because I can. And we're going to put one foot here, like my socks. My feet are cold, that's why I had to put socks on. And we're going to bring the other leg out so that you've got the ball of your foot on the ground with the other leg. You've got your foot flat on the ground with this one. So what we're going to do for our spirals is we're going to start, and where the start of the spiral is the hip movement. All right? So hip, hip, and it's going to start the spiral around, perpendicular, keep going. The shoulders don't move separately, they move because the ribs are moving. And then you look over the back shoulder, and then you're going to bring the hip back, and look over the back shoulder. So it's the hip movement that initiates the movement round. It's the hip. It's actually the hip, even though it feels a bit weird there. If you were sitting on the floor in fourth position, that's the movement. So you can try it if you're able to sit on the floor. I'll show you just really quickly. I don't expect you to do this, but if you were able to, and not everyone can, even people who are really agile, this is a strange position for some people. So I'll just show here. Can you see me? Just like this. This is fourth position. Okay, so it's very difficult for some people to sit right down there. So this is why Probably doing it seated in a chair is better, but the movement starts here and goes around, and then first thing that happens is this comes down, and that's what we're doing. But we're doing it chair-based, because that's what this class is. Okay, let's do this with the music. The music. Why is it so soft? Maybe I'll try this one, A Brighter Heart. A brighter heart. Maybe don't turn this leg out so far, all right? Okay. In fact, you know what? I think don't have this one turned out and have this one not turned out, like just in a comfortable position. So then you can get a better hip movement, because I had it too far turned out. That's not going to work as well. All right, hip, but don't do it jerkily like I just did then. And then hip back, hip lifting into it, lift into it, lift into it. Hip. Lift and lift as that hip, hip, hip. It's a beautiful movement, isn't it? Do it slower if it's too fast for you. We'll go slower now. Okay, let's try the other side. Can you feel that working? Really works that hip, doesn't it? In a different way. In a different way you would be working it in other exercises, really. Okay, so, yeah, we dropped that knee a bit. Yeah, I was doing that. I don't know what I was doing. I got carried away. Maybe I thought I was a spider. So let's just try that on that side. So the hip comes up, just bring it back, hip, back. That's the movement. And it's a little awkward on the chair, but it's worth it. Okay, let's try it again. Let's get out of that, try this again. Hip, keep lifting up. And the first thing, you lift into it as the hip comes down. Keep drawing those scapulae down. Hip down. Let the head goes last. Keep lifting. You'll find you're better on one side than the other, probably. I know I am. Now let's go slowly. Hip. Lift, lift, hip, okay, work those hips. Now just sit up, squeeze up underneath the bottom, just relax. working those hip stabilizers. That's your glute medius really in the main. It's not the only thing that's working. And if you were to stand up using the Alexander technique and you externally rotate the legs without pushing the pelvis forward, we need to keep nice soft hips. We don't want anything to lock. Oh, did you see what I did? I just did this. Watch. You see that? No, Gina. No, no, no. Come up and down. See? Okay. Now we're going to do some, yes, we've done this over the last couple of days, but we're going to do a thoracolumbar fascial stretch. So if you look at the fascia, well, if you've seen any sort of pictures of, just walk around the outside. I'm in everybody's space right now, but you know, they'll just move around me. If you look at any anatomical pictures of the back, you might see pictures where you see the sort of the white sort of stuff that covers the muscles. Well, you've got this fascia, which is like, it's like glad wrap that covers, you know, I hope you're not vegetarians. Well, if you are, you know, this is just like anatomy. There's this, it's like glad wrap that covers the muscles and it connects to the bones, and they used to just think it was stuff. But there's a lot of nerves in there, and fascia can get jammed. But they also know, and that's where usually where pain is, but they also know that it's a whole system now, and the lymphatic fluid moves through that. So fascia is really, really important, and we don't want it to get too tight. So this is for right down your back. There's this thoracolumbar fascia. So it's down the column, really. So we're going to put our palms up, lift up, and turn as far as you can with your palms not like the width of the movement not changing. When you can't go any further, open out the back arm and look back as far as you can. Now, the tighter you are, the greater the amount of the second part that will occur. So obviously I'm a bit tight, but you'll be able to see if you're the same on each side too. So we'll do that with music. We'll just do a bit of a stretch because it's good. It's good for us to do that. All right, lift up. Scapulae drawing down right up on your sit bones and lift into it. Head not forward. Over the back. Go as far as you can. Then, oh. It's a good stretch, isn't it? Keep lifting into it. Lift. That's what it sounds like. Oh, okay. Just curl forward and curl. Now, we're going to do some, just pause that. Now we're going to do some, now we're working, we've worked our way up. We'll do some isolation exercises for the upper body. Now, open the rib cage. Put your arms here. And now, breathe in and open your rib cage out that way and see what happens to your arms. Okay? You don't lift your shoulders. So you're actually opening your rib cage. Now, if you find it difficult to open your rib cage, do not despair. A lot of people end up with quite tight rib cages. Now, I'm sure that not everyone here will have a tight rib cage. In fact, I'm certain of it. But it's something that we can all work on. So when you're doing your movement, just standing there and feeling that opening of the rib cage. It's a cage, and you've got your respiratory ribs muscles in there, haven't you? So they need to be able to move. Now, a really, really nice exercise for kind of feeling like you're breathing without breathing is just a simple swivel. Now, we were doing a spiral, which didn't have the same impetus in it, but if we just stand up for a little bit, for a second, we'll stand up just for a minute, and I have done this before, just swing. Maybe just put your legs where it's comfortable, maybe a little bit wider for this one, and just feel what happens to your lungs when you do this. It's pushing air into them, so it's really good. So we need to keep this part of our body nice and mobilized. Now, what we're going to do is we'll do some bends, but we're only going to do it from our upper body, which is really challenging, which means that you have to keep all of this as it was, which is belly button moving towards the spine. And the way we do it in ballet technique, which is not every technique, is we'll move the belly button to the spine. Now, once you know how to do it, you can keep it can be as subtle, like just baby. Once you know these things, it's never a matter of it's always gentle, subtle. So to do this using the voice, which they do in singing, singers will do this. They'll make a note, and when you do that, it's an automatic thing that happens where the belly button will move to the spine. So this is why I love this way of explaining it, because it's very natural. So, now with a singer, when they breathe in, they're going to need to let their tummies come out. And by the way, a disclaimer, I'm not a singing teacher and I'm not even trained to do that. I would never do that because that's not my field, and I only want to do what I know I have expertise in. But I love the way I've been taught how to engage the belly button moving towards the spine in that way. Now, in classical ballet, you can't just let it all hang out in between, not using the ballet technique that I was taught anyway. So if you're going to engage the belly button, move the belly button towards the spine, the purpose of that is to take your back into its own neutral spine. So you're actually going, moving everything into position, because you want everything to be symmetrical and aligned, because the line of movement depends on it, and the control that you're going to use when you're doing these movements. Sorry, I'm itchy. I think I put a bit of glossy sort of powder on my cheeks because I saw some people online do it. Don't laugh at me. But I liked theirs, so I've tried it, but it made me itchy. So anyway, where was I up to? So once you've belly button to spine, you need to leave it there, all right? And this needs to be very stable. Keep lifting up underneath the bottom, who's just come on. Hi Amanda, how are you? And then now we're going to move out, we're going to do a back bend, but it's just from the upper back. So lift into it, and we're not going to move the neck, and then forward, and then up. This does not move, and back, and up, and forward, and you must lift into it. Now let's go to the side, and come up, to the side, come up, turn the head, side, lift, come up, turn to the side, lift, come up. And now we're going to do a circle. This remains. And you're using your glute medius too, because you're lifting up. You're drawing your scapulae down. Your head is sliding back. Your shoulders are falling apart. And we're going to move the upper body forward. Then take it to the side. Then take it back. Take it to the side. And come back. Then the other side. Forward. To the side. Back. Side. You'll feel this. This is great. I love this exercise. Let's just do that much with the music, and then that'll probably be all we do for the upper body, because I'm just about out of time anyway. I just looked at the clock and I can't ever believe it. All right, so we will go to, I think I've done creeping spiders already. Maybe I haven't. Okay. Let's just let your arms be free. Forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, forward, side, back, side, center. Other way, forward, side, back, keep lifting up, forward, side, keep those ribs open, keep them open, forward, tiny, center, lift into it, center, head to the side. Now lift, lift, you're a teapot. Other side. Turn the head to the side, lift back. Other side. Hello, baby. Hannah's just arrived. It's my daughter. Okay, that'll do it, that one. Good work. Now before we finish, I want to just do something with the legs. And we'll use this movement. We're going to do rond de jambe. Okay, we'll do it on the ground. And then we're going to do it in the air, just to feel these hip stabilizers working. We're actually going to turn it out today. So, scapula drawing down, up, on the ground, sorry. Side, not right to the side, just about halfway. Now reverse it. Now off the ground. Just about 25 degrees. And strain your neck like I'm doing. Excuse me, Muffin. Just do the other leg. I'll come out of that. You're nearly allowed to go and have your tea. Unless you're eating while you're doing it. I can't see, can I? Okay. Slide the head back. Look at Muffin. Lift up, squeeze underneath the bottom. And it doesn't go, no, bring the heel up. Big toe only on the ground. Heel opposite heel to come back. Now we're going to go off the ground. And off. Lift up. And up. Heel lifted. Heel lifted. Other side, we're going to do it again. Just off the ground now. Thank you. Lovely class. Is that 30 minutes, Ornella? I think it is, isn't it? And we've got quiet tonight, and I've got to cook dinner. Baby Hannah's just arrived. And bow. Beautiful, Hannah. Okay, I'll turn this down. Thank you for being here. I'm going to wave to you. Hi, Ali. How are you? Hi, Amanda. Hi, Suzanne. Waving. Ornella. Yes, yes. Thank you. Hi, Suzanne. Hey, Ornella. Hi, Angie. Okay, that's lovely. Even though it's late, we still did it. So sorry it was so late. But, you know, as it turned out, more people could come. So maybe I've got the time wrong. Anyway, if you know of anybody who would like to do this, oh, here's me falling over, please just tell them about it, and I'll accept them into the group, and then they can join us. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you again for being here. I love it.